Last time we talked about SQL functions and we talked a bit about what are functions and differences between functions and procedures. But essentially, functions are pieces of code that can be run whenever we want. Right. In that sense, we have this query that we want to run. And instead of running this query, we can just run this function name and that internally runs this query. So this is sort of similar to the concept of views. So can someone tell me, as we talked about it last time, so we have a function here, for example, that is count the number of accounts that a particular customer has. So create function account count, and you'll be able to play around a lot with functions in our third homework here. So essentially create a function account count with customer name as a parameter, that is varchar 20, and it returns an integer. And then we have the function body, that is begin and end, right? And within this, we have this function body that declares an integer type called a count and basically selects count star, saves it into a count, but essentially selects count star from depositor, where depositor.customer name is the customer name that was provided as the parameter. So if the parameter was, let's say, David, right? So essentially find me all the rows that have the customer name as David from the depositor table. And the depositor table is the one that has all the account information, and then basically count the set of rows that we have. And once we have the number of rows for the username David, we save that into the variable a count and essentially return a count from there, right? So if we go over this entire thing again, create function account count, takes in a parameter customer name of varchar 20 type, returns an integer, begin, declare the variable a count where we want to save the result into, select count star into a count from depositor as D, where depositor.customer name equals to customer name, right? And then we return a count and then we end. So this basically is similar to a view, right? For a view, if you remember, create a view and that view would have some name, and essentially that view would have some query. And so whenever we select star from that view name, essentially internally we are running that query. If you remember, create view as, and then we had that query, right? So that was basically a similar syntax to a create table and then that query, or insert into table and then that query. But create view did not create a query for you. Sorry, did not create a table for you. It was just sort of like a macro, right? So essentially I could select star from that view, from any view, and that query is internally run and those results are given to us. Similarly, we can run this function like select star from this function, and essentially internally it is going to run this query and return this result to me. So can someone tell me what is the difference between a function and a view? If I can use both a function and a view to execute certain set of queries, what are the differences between functions and views? Is there one difference? Is there more than one difference? Are both of those things the same thing? Any ideas, guys? if you remember, so we had this function, right? So if you remember what a view was essentially a select statement disguised as another name, right? That was all a view was, right? So essentially I can select certain set of things, and that was like packaged as a query, and that had a name. You're close, but remember that a function and view, so a view will not result, both of, okay, so that is one difference. Okay. So you are correct. So a function will be defined, and mainly a function would only return a particular value, whereas a view would return a table, or basically result in a table. The other difference between, very good Yogi, but the other difference between a view and a function is that a view will execute the same query, right? It's a fixed query. However, a function allows you to pass some parameters to your query. So for example, here we pass this parameter customer name, and then whatever that customer name might be, we are just applying that query based on that customer name, whatever that customer name could be. But in case of a view, this particular query would have in single quotes the name David, Johnson, or whatever, right? So a view is basically fixed in a sense, right? It has to execute the same thing. A function can be thought of like a parameterized view that takes in some parameters and does some computations. The other thing is, Yogi, no, the other way around. Functions cannot modify a table, procedures can, but functions cannot. But very good answer. Okay, so now that we have this particular function, we can then call this particular function as select account count and with the parameter Johnson, right? And that basically returns the number of accounts that Johnson has, because that function takes in a parameter called customer name, computes the number of accounts that Johnson has, and then returns the number. We can also use functions as computed results. So essentially select customer name, and for every customer name, call this function from the customer. So for every customer name, we call this function account count. So essentially this table ends up getting the schema of customer name, comma, the number of accounts that customer has, right? Okay. Let's see. A function can take any number of arguments. It can even take 0 arguments. For our example here, we took a customer name as an argument here. We talked about this. A function can also return table values. Remember, we just said that a function only returns a single value, be it an integer or a varchar or what have you. A function can also return an entire table. This is a fairly new specification that is from 2003. In this class, we will not be talking about table functions, but essentially it is pretty easy to implement. We'll talk about table functions maybe later if you have time. And a function body is usually encapsulated within a begin and an end statement, right? Okay. We can also define initial values. So whenever we want, we can declare our own variables. So here we had declared a count as a variable of type integer. We can also say that if a particular customer has no particular value and the select statement won't work, in this particular scenario, if there are no rows, it would have returned a null. So essentially, we can also set a default value that is declare result integer default 0. But in this case, integer a count would be replaced by a null value. But essentially, if we want, we can also have initial values set to our variables. And for that, we would just say declare variable name, variable type, and then the default value. That is how SQL works. As I said, SQL is very finicky with functions. We can write functions, but a couple things that SQL is not the best at parsing functions, and that also means that it won't give you the most correct set of errors. But then again, that is what it is, and essentially it is not declare result integer equals 0, it is declare result integer default 0, right? Okay. Okay, we can also add particular values into the statement, right? So if you remember, when we look into this particular function, we came across a new thing. We came across this into statement here. So we know that count star would give us some scalar value, right? We are not grouping by anything. So count star would give us some scalar value. So select some value into some variable basically means that whatever's the value here, we are saving it into a count. So this is a new statement that we saw. This is a nice way of assigning values to a variable. So select star, select count star, or select whatever average of balances. Let's just select average balances into average balance, right? So we can use the into keyword to assign values into our variables. There are other ways that we can also assign values. So let's see. We had the select into clause. We also have the set syntax that sets a particular value equals to the result of something. So essentially set result equals to n times n plus 1 by 2. Basically would save the result of this particular computation into result, albeit with the using the set keyword, right? Okay, let's see what else did we talk about. Yes, the into statement can also be used to assign multiple variables at the same time. So for example, let's say we want both the number of accounts and the total balance for every customer, right? So for that, we can write a function for each customer. We take a parameter as customer name. We select all the rows from the depositor table where customer name equals to customer name. We get the number of rows and the sum of the balances and save into these two variables, a count and total balance. Exactly. What do you mean by py? Are you talking about Python? I've never used the select into statement with Python. Is there a select into statement with Python? Cool.
No, I mean the Python, they also have like multiple assignment in one statement.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Exactly. Like we have a comma b equals to c comma d. Right. Exactly. Similar to that, we can do that sort of thing. So exactly, you're correct. So count star and sum balance becomes that those values get saved into a count and total balance. Okay. So essentially we talked about this, but essentially this says that you can declare your own variables and then basically set the result of that variable to whatever you want. Here we are setting it to n times n plus 1 by 2 and then returning the result where n is the parameter that we are passing. We can also just say that there is no variable here. We can directly return the result if we want. That is also fine. Right. We can basically, this is to show that return can also return the values of entire expressions. That much SQL does allow you. Okay, let's see what else. So remember that we are still talking about data definition components, right? So we are still, when we say data definition components, that is where you have your create tables, create views and those things. So functions are also, as far as SQL is concerned, functions are also sort of like views or tables, right? In that scenario. So basically they return a certain schema. You